Fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're the first to know when new episodes are available. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. My name is Scott Swetz. I'm the Clydesdale. She is Jamie Latimer, and we are here to talk about what's going on in Berlin. Jamie, this broadcast, OMG, so hard to watch. I get so frustrated.
So with Linda, is that the one you got frustrated with?
Both.
Oh.
Like, I am so spoiled by being at these things live and being able to look at who I want to look at in the moment. And I'm trying to look around through my screen to see the person over there that they're not quite showing.
Yeah, I noticed that with the snatching. I want to try and peek and see the numbers on there. We'll
get
marker.
Into the snatching.
Yeah.
The fact that Karen Freyova wasn't even shown hitting the tying winning lift.
I know.
My God. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are spoiled. So spoiled.
Yeah.
So a couple things have happened over the last 48 hours. I'm going to throw them out to you. I just want to get your take on them. It was reported yesterday by Pedro, however you want to call him, from Coffee Pods and Wads, that he saw with his own eyes Don Faul and the executives from Tier coming out of the same room together in Berlin.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard any of that.
So I just want to say, have I not been saying for a while about this whole no bull stuff? They're in the last year of the contract. Negotiations are probably not going well. And my guess is that CrossFit is going to move in a different direction.
Yep.
And therefore, they do not want to show up at these events with retail space in a space that they're not going to be in a couple months.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It is a little strange. You would think they'd want to get the sales that they could get. I would think, since they're the main sponsor, the booth isn't costing them. So that just show up with some product. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they're definitely on the outs.
So my thing, I've had some bad customer experiences with Tier. We had the bad customer experiences with Noble when they first showed up. I'm just tired of the startups jumping into the big pond and not being ready to take on the demand that comes with it.
Right.
Tier jumped in as the title sponsor of Wodapalooza and could not fill the orders for the jerseys at Wodapalooza, for all of that stuff. And so I just hope it's not a recycling of what we just had a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Reebok, we got spoiled with Reebok. I mean,
So Lex, I know Tier is not a startup. When I was a swimmer, we actually had Tier products back in the 80s.
Yeah.
But they're new to this space. And I ordered 2 jerseys from them for Wodapalooza. It took me 6 months to get them, 4 months after Wodapalooza.
Wow.
Again. Yeah. Yeah, I know they are established as a company. They're just not established in this space. Yeah, I wore some of their swimsuits back in the day. Definitely wore their goggles. They had the best goggles in swimming when I was a swimmer. It's just frustrating because I've just had a lot of bad customer experience with them over the last 6 months.
Damien, I saw that. I actually pre-ordered those, so I'm excited for him to come in. And to me, they look like a lot like the Nano 2. The 4-foot looked like the Nano 2 to me, so I'm excited to try those. But I don't know if they're big enough to take on as something like a title sponsor, but they are growing.
Lex says, I don't think they'll have the same issue as No Bull, though. I think they have a diversified enough portfolio. They'll get the brand stabilized. I hope so. I hope so. My personal experience with them has not been great. Now, I'll say this too. Sunglasses are freaking awesome.
Yeah, I like their sunglasses.
I've worn a lot of sunglasses. They are a freaking bomb. Got my Noah Olsons, wear them every day. So I just want to get your take on that. I think, again, it's probably negotiations at this point, is my guess, coming up to the games. So maybe it was just a meeting to see projections, different things, what they were going to do. We'll see there. But yeah, and Bruce, I do want to say, I knew Peter before he was Pedro. Just so you know. So there. So anyway, with that, I also want to move on. We don't really touch on teams a lot, but one of my favorite CrossFitters that I've ever interviewed was Andre Houdet.
Oh, I was thinking of him. We didn't talk about them yesterday.
Yeah. How about him beating Oslo Navy Blue in their first opportunity as a team?
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they're going to be exciting.
Super stoked to see Andre, because they're No Excuses is his
I think so, yeah.
His programming platform that is now an affiliate, which is now a team, and they killed it this weekend, beating a podium finisher from last year's games in the team division this weekend. So wanted to give a huge shout out to Andre with that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them at the games. Wasn't there some rumors that Oslo's male was under the weather though?
I don't know. Honestly, trying to catch up on the overnight stuff from Berlin is tough. So I did do some fast forwarding at times and did not pay attention to the teams as much. I just paid attention to Andre because I like him and I wanted him to do well.
Yeah, he's about no all shortcuts. That I saw as well.
That's it. Thank you, Emma Bailey. Yeah. No shortcuts. That is correct.
Yeah, I just saw him speed through the bench, pistol, handstand pirouette, like flawless.
So let me ask you this. As an athlete, he does a year as a team, and then he told us on our show he was going to come back as individual. He just thought he needed a year where he could work on some things, and that being on a team allowed him to do that. Sam Cornier did that. I think some other athletes should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
Agreed.
What do you think this will do for Andre going into next season?
I mean, does he really have like significant holes in his game?
So what he told us was he didn't want to be a perennial 25th place finisher at the games.
Fair.
Right. He wanted to take some time to work on some things to move up into that like top 10.
Yeah, I don't know for him if it's going to change much. I feel like unless there's like a specific weakness you need to work on, or I don't really see the point of going teams to. I don't think you're going to get better individually in that aspect. Like I think because you're just building in like the built-in rest and things like that. Like that's not things he probably needs to be working on. If strength is your whole, go ahead.
What it is the training time gives you more time to work on the accessory work you need to. When you're an individual, you're still trying to stay competitive, and you don't have time to like take a step back and like rebuild some things.
Right. But what he doesn't need to rebuild anything. He needs to like just get faster. Just I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think he has any holes. I agree, Ken.
Jamie says, "Suck it up, Andre. Let's go."
I agree. It'd be more of a younger or more of somebody who like keeps like failing to get in, and then they need to like build a specific skill that they are behind on. But I don't know if it's going to be I don't think it's going to hurt him per se. I just don't know if it's going to shore up anything that's going to jump him up to top 10.
Okay. I hear you. You don't want any excuses. You're ready to just move on, buddy.
Yeah, just do more individual comps. Just show up at all those European comps and
Jamie, and just no rest days, work hard every day, tear down that body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about today. We had 300 points up for grabs. We start with Linda. I believe the broadcast started on mute for about 15 minutes, which just warmed my heart that I am not the only person that mutes themselves live on a podcast. At least mine didn't go like 13 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah,
but Boz and Chase were on mute for a good 13 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was my TV.
Same.
So I'm like trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, I for sure thought it was me. Like it couldn't be them for that long. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. So we started with the men. I think it kind of went as I predicted yesterday.
Yeah.
I think the two names I mentioned were Bronislow and David Shrunky, and kind of fell that way.
They did great. Yeah. My big thing that I wanted to talk about and noticed was 5 withdrawals at this point, and then 1 more withdrew after this event, and that puts it up like I think that's the same as East. So 6 athletes are out, 10% of the field. I don't know. I don't know if some of them had pre-existing injuries. We know Luca was flu, but I still think there's been a lot of withdrawals, and I think there's something to this weighted ring muscle up into Linda with the dumbbells. So,
and we saw Yonakoski with a whole lot of tape on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can make it through the last couple days.
I know. Yeah, I saw that.
So, yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was Braun's interview afterwards, where he said they asked him what he was going to go for in the snatch. And he said, let's make a poll and I'll do whatever the crowd tells me to do. But the reality was, and we'll get to that when we get to the snatch, kind of like the game plan he had, which I think was actually brilliant. And we'll kind of get into that there. So, and then I have a big note here. This is just so much tougher to watch on the stream, especially Linda in that wide floor.
Yeah.
At the other events where we could kind of move up and down the media pit to see with what? When did that happen? What?
Yeah, that's super news to me.
Yeah. Yeah, Lex, you're breaking news. The last I heard was that Sarah was with Perrin at Training Think Tank.
Correct.
And that was just a couple weeks ago. So what?
No, I did not watch Barbell Spin, Bruce. Is that where it was announced? Oh,
Well,
Hot Wheels.
dang. Okay.
I don't have to, I can't watch all this stuff and do my research for this. I need, and then
I know, like the same. And I don't, and just so the audience knows, like I've got notes I'm taking on watching the events. I don't have time to watch every other show
right,
that's out there and not get a divorce.
right.
Right. Right. Like I had to go do some things with my wife today because I've been gone for 2 weeks and do that. But wow. Well, I will be texting Mr. Kotler. He's coming on the show right after he gets back.
Oh, good.
So we'll have him on to talk about that.
I didn't pull this one up. Emma, I would totally agree.
I agree too. But I want to, I agree. Divorce is less than CrossFit. No. I'm 26 years in, Bruce. In fact, my anniversary happened while I was on the road to Pasadena. So definitely needed to spend some quality time with the wife where I can fit it in this weekend. But yeah, I want to know what Justin's plan is, though, because she has jumped around quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Yeah. Dang you, Justin. Why didn't you tell me?
I know.
All right. Cool. Well, that's interesting news. The change couldn't have happened soon enough to make a difference this season.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's not out there, right? He doesn't have anyone out there.
Justin?
Yeah.
He's there. He's in Berlin.
Oh, he is there?
Yeah, so, Bronislow is his.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has a lot of Australian athletes.
All right.
After Ricky, he has Caitlin Van Zyl, Ricky, and a handful of others as well.
Oh, Bruce says it happened 2 months ago, so we were definitely in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be sending a sternly worded text to Mr. Kotler when this show is over.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's then move to the female side of Linda.
Okay.
Shocked with Andrea Solberg's performance in Linda.
Yeah, heat 1 all by herself, basically. Yeah, it was a really good time to start out the heats.
And that time held up through heat 2, and only a couple people in heat 3 got her.
Yep.
So wow, that was really, really, really cool.
Yeah,
she did that. I love Andrea. She's been on the show as well, and she actually listens to the show. And then we had a hell of a finish with Annie and Gabby. What was it, like 0.2 of a second? With Gabby out 0.02 of a second, with Gabby out touching Annie at the end.
Yeah, I think Annie just had I think Annie thought she was ahead. I mean, and she was ahead through the 3 and 2, and even through the beginning of the ones, just fine. And I think she assumed she was fine, and Gabby just snuck that foot in there. I'm looking at my notes, Bruce.
Well, if you remember, Annie got no rep on the round of 2 clean squat cleans.
Yeah.
And that was just the door that Gabby needed to catch her.
Yep. Yeah,
I also have to hear that Horvat, who needed a solid performance, it was a solid performance. Emma McQuaid, solid performance.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just a couple notes I took down.
Yep.
But yeah, that was good for Andrea. That was really awesome. And she needed that, knowing there was a max lift coming and that she was not going to fare as well in the max lift. So we go to the snatch. The run into the snatch. Let's start there.
Okay. With the
No,
men?
for the men, no 300s,
I know.
not a one.
Which you would have thought for sure Bronislow would have gotten that, but I mean, and he wasn't even in the final heat, but I was
Right.
sort of surprised by that. Is it because it's all pounds and they aren't totally certain what they're hitting?
It's got to be like they converted it in the back, and they know what they're hitting kilos in their head.
Yeah,
Like they
you
were
would
doing it
think.
on the broadcast as fast as
Yeah,
they were lining them up, right? I mean, there are charts out there. I think Bronislav could have hit well above what he did. He looked around, saw he was safe, and if you go back to the interview he did after Linda, he said, "I just want to finish in the top 3." And I think
yeah,
that's a different Braun, right? Very different Braun. And I think that was smart. He knows the run is not his strong suit. So save everything you have to give everything you have in the run. Because
yeah,
in the past, he would finish dead last in that run event.
yeah.
BKG hit a big lift to stay in it. He needed that bad.
He did excellent. Yeah, he was one of the ones I was surprised with.
And those are pretty much mine. And Moritz Fiebig, solid day overall.
Oh, Phoebe, yes. Fasa was the one that I was surprised with his. I guess I don't know if I was surprised with his lift. I guess I just thought he was a little bit stronger than he was. Only got 245. So I feel like he's kind of out of it at this point.
Yeah. I made a comment last night, probably wasn't the nicest of comments about Reggie Fossa, that he talks a big game, and then when it comes to live competition, we don't see him very much. But
Well,
that's just the way it's been.
kind of, yep, playing out that way.
Yeah. So then we move over to the women. I would say Sarah had some good lifts. It was nice to see her get under a bar.
Yes. Did that first heat, that Marie Robin or whatever that came out, I don't know if I missed that lift or it wasn't showing well or what. I saw it went in like heat 5 or whatever when they like replayed it, but I don't know. Maybe
So I saw it live.
Okay.
That's one I did catch. And it was she leaked up to that. And every single one of her lifts was as beautiful as the last one. She was solid on every single lift. And her lift held until the final heat.
Right.
So from heat 1, that held all the way through. I thought that her name is escaping me at this moment. Muir.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Muir. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Muir was a pleasant surprise in that one. Yeah, and that's that. Then it got to be kind of dicey in the final heat with a couple 210s. Again, we missed Karen Freyova's completely. Never saw it. Laura hit it. Did. That was gonna be a good lift regardless. Gabby McGowan had some good lifts in there. And who else was in it? Taylor Howe, surprise. I thought she'd lift heavier.
Yeah, I thought she would be heavier too. Opened with like 175, which was basically what all the heavy lifters opened with. And then, I mean, she got 190. It's not bad, but I feel like when those people that started with 175 were hitting a little bit heavier.
Yeah, and then pleasant surprise for me was Mathilde Garnis, 185 for her when strength has not really been her strong suit. That is a good solid lift for her for where she is in this competition.
Yeah.
So Amy Hill says that Jennifer Muir is hanging in there. Will be interesting to see if she has anything left in her tank for tomorrow. What I love about it is she's just happy to be there. And I think she's just relaxed from that fact. And because of it, she's just having a heck of a weekend. Now that she's done this well, does the pressure pour in on her? Because she didn't expect it, and now she has one day to go and could punch her ticket to the games. Now all of a sudden trying to be loose and free with it is not as easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there could definitely be some pressure. And tomorrow's not a good day to have that kind of pressure on you. If you go too fast, if she's trying to like stay in it with somebody and moves too fast through those pirouettes or too fast through those legless rope climbs and which I actually feel like she's going to be a Hannah Black. She got 0 reps on the ring muscle up, so I'm curious if there's something, and it could just be the rucksack, but like if there is some issue with her upper body pulling and those legless rope climbs are a struggle for her. I mean, if she has another bottom 30 finish, it's
so Lex says, I think the girl, I actually want the other one. Where are we at? Well, here we go. Muir, I don't think will do as well at 6, too high of skill, similar to performance in 2.
Exactly.
I think you're right. I think we've learned over the first 2 weeks that 6 is a game changer. Like the leaderboard will shake up after 6, and then you'll pretty much have an idea who's going to be in the qualifying position after that, unless you're Bailey Rail.
Yeah.
And then she also says that I think the girls around the bubble will do better on day 3. We'll get into the predictions for tomorrow after we're done here. But I got to talk about the snatch run. We had, I'm going to start with the women because that's the notes I can read right now.
Okay.
Amy Kringle, dang. She went fast. And I wrote a note when she went, can she hold on?
Yeah.
And now the next note was, yes, she can.
Yeah. 3rd best in the world.
Yeah.
And
Magawa won the next heat in a foot race with a couple people at the end. And but they all fell behind Amy Kringle on that one.
Yeah. That last heat was exciting. Soul Bear, did her thing in heat 1. It was a pretty good time, held for 7th.
Yeah. The one thing I forgot to mention on Linda, Moritz Fiebig and the flip to the finish. Very unique and unorthodox, but very cool. Did you see it?
I think I missed that.
So he finished his last squat clean, and then he did a somersault over the bar to finish.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think he tried to like get up to jump, and like the bar bounced away or something, and it just turned into a flip to finish. But man, talk about a dude with a solid day when we're talking the men.
Yeah.
Moritz Fiebig, solid throughout day 2, from start to finish. I think probably the most consistent of the men.
Yeah.
So let's pull up the leaderboard after day 2. Here we go.
You're not going to talk about Yella Costa?
Sure. Let's talk about him.
He like essentially tied Pat Miller in that.
Okay, yeah. And I thought he'd fall off today.
Yeah, he's
honestly.
not, is he? I mean, he's sort of holding his own.
So I have a different leaderboard today, and this was sent to us by Coach Ian White. He kind of has a way to do the leaderboard. It's like the top 20, and those are
Okay.
pretty much the people in the hunt. And I'm going to pull this up. And so what it is the red is the cut line, who makes it in. And then you can kind of see on the chart how far behind they are visually without having to do the math. Okay. So Gabby Magawa ends the day with a 22-point lead for first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Anna's daughter, Karen Freyova, solid weekend. Emma Tall, Laura Horvat, Matilda Garns, Manon Anganese, Emma McQuaid, Jennifer Muir, and Ella Wunger. And then right at the cut line is Elisa Filiano, Sarah Sigmund's daughter, Madeline Pershin, Linda Eisman, Ohana Moya. And then you have to go all the way down a couple more. We have Vidison and then Jacqueline Dahlstrom and Amy Kringle. So my question to you is, you have three big names kind of outside of the cut line. That is Jacqueline Dahlstrom, Sarah Sigmund's daughter, Amy Kringle. Do you think all of them get in tomorrow? Do you think some of them get in tomorrow?
I think so. I feel like your top 6 are pretty solid, and maybe even Manon is probably safe. You would think Emma would be safe in there. I can't imagine anything happening with her on 6 or 7. But I would say Jennifer Muir probably the one going to drop. I don't know enough about that Ella, and I mean Fuliano. She's exceptional at gymnastics. Like she's probably not going to fall apart in 6. So at best 2 are going to maybe drop, and I don't.
So let me pose this question. Laura Horvat and Mathilde Garnis are notoriously weak at handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
This is not a deficit. It is strict. It's wall facing. Is the 20 enough to slow them down in event 6? Because conversely, they're incredible at rope climbs.
Right. I mean, and it's not like they have a 60-point lead on the cut line. Like they can finish 35th and be fine still. And I don't think they're going to be the bottom 10. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think Laura will be fine. I wish we would have seen exactly what happened with her wall facing handstand push-ups in quarterfinals. I mean, all that we got was that the tape line was like put down wrong, or I mean, I would have, again, this is where I wish we could see people's videos, what exactly happened. I would like to see her do those reps. I would like to see where her hands actually were, to be able to have more input on that.
Because we have seen over the last 2 weeks, Hannah Black, total stopper on those wall-facing handstand push-ups. So it is capable of stopping an athlete. And those two notoriously bad at this. Everything else, they're fine in this workout. Every other aspect, just that. And I think they're both fine in 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other people, I think, will be stopped by the rope climb. It's just this workout has 2 bottlenecks, and you have to get through them both. to be safe. And so I just posed that question. Anybody in the audience have thoughts on the handstand push-up other than Bruce? Because Bruce says Laura will be fine. He doesn't care about Mathilde like I do, but I hope she'll be fine. And Lex does say Sarah and Jacqueline will get through and into a game spot by the end of the weekend.
I feel like, I mean, I like Dahlstrom. She's got the biggest hurdle to climb, and is going to depend on like Linda Kaysen and Sarah, Sigmund's daughter. So I don't know. It's a tough call.
I think she's going to be good tomorrow. On 6, 7, she can lift a sandbag. Can she run with a sandbag? And then
I don't know her power output.
It's a power output.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move to the men. Let me see if I can shrink this down and go. Here's the men. So same kind of deal here. We have the cut line, and we have Lazar Jukic, another big lead, leading on the men's side with Moritz Fiebig right behind. And then we have Heinrich Hapalainen, Jelle Hosta, who I forgot about, solidly in fourth. David Shrunke, Jonakowski, Bronislaw Valinkowicz, Michael Wisłowski. Sounds like one of the Monsters Inc. guys.
Agreed.
BKG, Antoine Dumaine, Oldest Upanix. Those are your qualifiers at the moment. Then we have Luka Vunjak, Alex Katulis, Enrico Zanoni, Victor Helsinghoff, Ludwig Johansson, and Fabian Benito. I'm thinking. I don't know. So again, you've got Fabian Benito, Enrico Zanoni, Alex Katulis on the outside looking in. Any of those make it in?
Again, with these guys, I feel like your top 6 are pretty solid. I don't see any of them falling off. So then you're looking at, you think BKG is gonna blow up? Probably not. This Wisłowski, possibly. We don't know enough about him. And Dumaine, he did pretty darn good on number 2.
If I'm Justin Kotler, I'm worried about Braun on event 6.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. 7, he will kill.
Yeah, I mean,
6.
What's he bad at? The handstand push-up?
I think high skill gymnastics probably.
He got 14th on the ring muscle ups.
Okay. Don't yell at me.
Bruce, I did them all. Before we went to Orlando, I did them in order: 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday. So yes, I've done them all
at the same timing that they would do it.
Yeah, like I tried to do it at 11, workout 1 at 11, workout 2 at 3, just to get the feel of, the soreness over the 3 days. But I didn't know some things, right? I didn't know about the sled, that it'd be 3 lengths. I didn't know the handstand pirouette. I didn't know that the ring muscle up was not a complex. There's a few things that I had to just sort of make up on the fly. And now I just don't feel like doing them all again. So.
And I don't blame you. So yeah, that's my only thing. I don't know about. Whoa.
Did I mess something up?
Yeah, you just playing around.
Okay, I got it. Fixed it.
There we go. So yeah, I don't know. I think I worry about Dumaine in 7. I worry about Koski's shoulder in 6. And I worry about Bronislow in 6, just getting through that long chipper.
Yeah, there's going to be, yeah, 2 or 3 of these guys that we're going to be surprised that just don't make it.
So let's talk about the events tomorrow. Who we think is going to do well. We have event 6, which is the overhead squat, into the row, into the pirouettes, into the seated legless rope climbs, into the handstand wall facing push-ups, and then back down. Who on the we're on the men right now, who on the men's side do you think will do really well at that?
I think Hopper is going to do well at that one. I think he's too far out for it to matter, but I think his gymnastics are good enough that should be a good workout for him.
I think it's a CrossFit style workout that BKG will do well at.
Well, he needs it. So,
if Yona wasn't hurt, I would say he would do really well at it. But I'm going to take a flyer on Moritz Fiebig. I think he has had a solid weekend, and he seems to be getting good at everything.
Lazar will have a very good workout as well. Yeah,
Lazar's so far out in front, I'm just kind of pushing him off. He's had a great weekend. Like when I say Moritz has a solid, Lazar has taken it to a new level. Very, very great weekend.
Yep.
And he needed that for his own psyche, I believe, going into the games.
Yeah.
So then we look at the women, event 6. If those handstand push-ups weren't there, Laura would kill that workout.
Yes.
Agreed. But I'm gonna take a flyer on Andrea Solberg.
Okay. I think Fuliano is going to do great at it.
I think you're right too.
And she needs to solidify her position. She is on that bubble. So yeah.
Yeah. Andrea just seems to have one of those, like when she knows she has a shot, she's going to go all out. And this weekend, and I love seeing it. And I think she'll do that in 6.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. Elisa is just really good at all this stuff. And then we finish up with event 7. Bruce, I love Laura Horvat. She is my pick to win the games this year. It just in this workout, I don't think she is going to do well on that handstand push-up part, and she's going to lose some ground to some people. I didn't say she wasn't making it. I didn't say she was going to finish last.
She's not my favorite, Bruce.
Solveig Sigder's daughter. I think she'll do okay in this. So then let's go to event 7. We'll stick with the women. We'll just keep going back and forth this way.
Okay.
This is the 3 rounds of Echo Bike into the toaster bar, into the sandbag carry, run, jog, waddle, whatever you want to call that. And for me, this is a Sarah workout.
Agreed. I think
she is 100%.
She loves to do that power output on the bike and just go dark.
And it's also an Annie workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Annie's the 2 Icelandics. And it's a Laura workout. Gosh. Like this is one of those just head down, all out, and they'll do really well. Well, my pick is Sarah for that event because I think she's going to need it.
Yes. I would agree with that. I think I'm going to pick Karen Frayova for that one.
It's a great pick too. Great pick. Yeah, though I mean, and I think like Freyova has shown with Dubai and this season that she is a force to be reckoned with. And she's had a great weekend, just like we talk about Lazar and Moritz. I think Karen has done the same thing this weekend.
Yeah, I'm Bruce. I'm curious to see Sarah too. Will she go out too hot? Will she have to come down multiple times on those totem bar, and especially in that last round? I don't know. We've seen that happen. I think it'll depend on how 6 goes and where she's sitting. Like, is it her last ditch effort and she's gonna go blackout and either hold on or not? Who knows? So I think it's gonna really depend on workout 6 for her.
Yeah, agreed. But I think she'll do really well at 7 if she's still in it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any overall thoughts about today's events?
Not really. I mean, I was really impressed that Yellow Hosta. I mean, don't even know who this guy is, and he's just crushing it and holding up to Dallner's world record. That was probably my favorite moment of the day.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment of the day was seeing Andrea Solberg kill Linda. It just was so unexpected and so fun to see the joy on her face and get interviewed afterwards. I really enjoyed that. And then the last couple seconds of the women's max snatch when they're all like popping 210s, 200s, and it just changed dramatically in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And we saw none of it, but Laura.
Yeah, right. And there was a couple heats of the snatch run that were pretty exciting. 3-4 people in the mix running. So those ones are exciting.
Yeah, I had down here McQuaid beating Sarah by a slide.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun too. Bruce,
that's only because you didn't see Freyova's.
Emma Bailey says, I hope Justin helps Sarah with whatever's going on. I do too. And I think he can. Like Justin is just, if you're open to that kind of coaching where someone is going to care about you so much and care about your well-being, I think it can work for you. And maybe that's what Sarah needs.
I really felt like she was getting that from Perrin. I don't know. This whole thing is shocking to me.
Yeah. Seriously, I am sending a sternly worded text as soon as we're done.
Do.
Mr. Collar, I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow and kind of this to be over. I love semifinals, but it's been a lot. And I have fun talking about it, and I have fun coming on the air. But I'm ready to get a little bit of my life back and back into a routine. So super stoked for that.
Yep, me too. I missed the gym today. That's like, I need to get back into a routine.
Yeah. Well, I did Murph this morning.
Good. Yay. I'm glad you got it in.
Yeah, I did a bike version of Murph. It is hot here. Oh my gosh.
What is it there?
It was 93.
Okay.
With all that cottonwood stuff floating in the air, pollen thick on the cars. But yeah, I got through it. And that's what I'll say about that.
It's 92
My
here.
last bike was slow. Huh?
It's 92 here, so we're in the same boat.
Yeah, I just wish we'd get like one quick Florida downpour to like knock all the pollen to the ground.
Yeah, there's like everything's so dry. We have a like fire, that like can't burn or anything here because it's so dry. And I don't see any rain in the forecast for the week. So
Yeah, we don't have rain in our forecast till next Sunday.
yeah, not good.
But the bright side is don't have to mow.
Yeah, that's true. I planted some more strawberries yesterday. I've been been out there the last few days, trying to water that stuff because it's all so dry. I'm terrible at gardening. I don't even know why. I brought stuff home and it was like, "Oh, you're gonna try this again?" Yeah.
Yeah. Our problem with gardening is every year we would go on vacation for a week and then everything would die.
Yeah.
So Bruce, I'm hearing rumors that Wadapalooza is expanding. What are you hearing down there on the streets of Miami? Same location, but they're expanding out.
Oh boy. You need to hook up the phone to that so we can have a call-in number. Bruce would totally call in.
Well, I have the apparatus to do call-ins.
Yes.
But I have not figured out. I literally just got it like 2 hours ago. I got my mic working. That is it. I will then work on the phone and the headphones in a little bit. But yeah, it's got all these bright lights and shining at me and all that kind of stuff. And I can disguise my voice. Can I?
Show the audience.
I'm being interviewed by the CIA, and so I don't want anybody to know my identity.
Yeah. Super cool. Yeah. Can do all that stuff. But we will have a live call-in number for all of our shows as soon as I figure out how to get all that hooked up. So, yeah. Coming
Bruce
soon.
went radio silent on us.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get
guys.
A lot of people.
We will let you go for the evening. I think tomorrow we'll be prepared to tell you what Jamie and I are doing for a new show. It will be a weekly kind of series show thingy. We don't have a name for it, but we can at least tell you what we're going to do. And we're hoping to involve all of you in some way.
What is Elise knowing for?
Elise, why no? We haven't even seen you in here until just now. Can we go one more hour?
Oh my God.
Well, let's tell them what we have planned. We'll say that. Okay. So Bruce, what I'm hearing, first of all, Bruce, what I'm hearing is that they may be shutting down the streets around the park, and that it will go out a little bit further. And so then they can expand the bleachers and all of that stuff a little bit more as well. Here is what we're planning. And then here's what we are planning for a show. And we're going to need all of your help. So what we're going to do is we want to start highlighting local events. The plan is to do a Thursday night show where Jamie and I talk CrossFit. Like the roundtable is now more about like us as personalities and what's going on in our life, all of that kind of stuff. We are then now this will be like a CrossFit centric show. In addition to that, we will have a local event organizer on from a local competition somewhere around the world, talking about the event that they're putting on that weekend. Then sometime on Saturday, we are hoping to do a live look-in at the event, maybe even call a couple heats like a guerrilla broadcast style like they did for Linda and for event 1 for semifinals. Get the event organizers or you, the audience that are local to the event, take your phones, go around, and then we can talk to you about what's going on at the event, how the event's going, maybe call the action on the floor for a little bit. And then Sunday, wrap it up with a little bit more and maybe have the winners of the RX division or the scale division or whatever come on and talk about their experience with that event over the weekend and do that. So that is the basic outline of what we're doing. And who knows, maybe we will go pop in to a local event ourselves, do some footage, do some calls, do some different things like that. But a way to like get more exposure for other CrossFit licensed events that are going on around the world. Give them a little bit of exposure for what they're doing, why they're doing it, the cause they're doing it for, and different things like that. And it gets you guys involved. You know, say you're in a competition and you tell us, hey, I'm doing this comp on this day and I'm going to be in this event. We can do a live look into that event. Hey, there's our listener, Bruce, doing toast to bar, blah, blah, blah. Right. And do all of that kind of stuff. But I think it's a way to grow the sport grassroots style.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of time, Jody, but that's okay. We love it. And we love highlighting, especially you guys, if you're going to be at a comp. I think it will be awesome.
Yeah. And it's time doing something that I love to do. Will we come over to Europe for that? We may not personally come, but we would love to highlight European competitions just as much as North American competitions. So Emma, if there's a competition going on that you're going to be at, let us know. We'll talk to the organizers. We'll have them on, and maybe we'll have you there live telling us what's going on at the competition. That's kind of the gist of it all.
There you go, Jody. That's the goal.
And so it's just to kind of build the community and allow you guys to be more a part of the show, even there. So Jeffrey, we were at TFX 2 years ago. We were actually paid by TFX to come down and be a podcast there. We did interviews with some of the athletes, and a lot of the athletes we talked to were not names that you would know. We just grabbed people walking down the sidewalk and said, we'd love to hear your story. And we got some amazing stories. And so if you, the listeners, are willing to do that for us, we can ask the questions. Just hold up your phone. Let some people talk to us. We'd love to get to know more people around the community. Oh, my goodness. What are we going to do with Bruce?
I don't know.
So yeah, I love TFX. If it wasn't so far outside of Austin, my goodness. Have you ever been, Jamie?
Yeah. I told you I competed at it.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, it was.
I love the vibe there. Yeah, we were debating, did you compete the year that I was there?
I think the year before.
And you were there the year before. Yeah, I think we came to that. So hopefully I am not on the banned list at MFC anymore, because I heard a rumor there as well. And that maybe the person that doesn't want me around isn't there anymore to not want me around. So it would be really cool to go to MFC and do some like live stuff with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I need you all at MFC.
And if not, maybe I'll just go hang out and be Jamie's manager. I'll carry her bags.
I have to still compete in the 35 to 39 this year there. They moved it up like 2 weeks. I'm kind of bummed.
What?
Yes. It's like
but
the
you'll
last
be competing in the 40 to 44 at the games.
Yeah, and Legends. So I'll have the opportunity in December to be in that 40 to 44. But yeah, just what I need. Another trip in the 35 to 39. Oh well.
You are the defending champ.
True.
So at least you get to go defend.
Yeah. Those qualifiers are like next week. I have to do those.
Wow.
So yeah, maybe we'll I don't know, maybe we'll if we start on one of these Thursdays coming up, we can talk about that for sure.
Yeah, so I think there's a competition going on in Florida. There's a competition going on in Florida next weekend. So I'm trying to reach out to their event organizer and see if we can get that started next weekend. Because I think that'll be, and I think Cheryl actually has an athlete there. So with that, we can get at least something going on live from that event, at least a live look in that weekend, and different stuff like that. So,
yeah.
And I'm hoping to go to Legends. I've always wanted to go to the Legends comp. We love our Masters athletes. I've only been to Arizona once, but there's no smog there, so maybe that'll be better. Yeah, the ACC. That's it, Bruce. Yep. And Cheryl's going to be there, so we're going to try to figure that out for next week.
Bruce, is it close
And if
enough
not,
for you to go?
Jamie and I will jump on this Thursday and just talk CrossFit. It's just going to be CrossFit talk. So, and it'll probably turn into something else down the road, but that's what it's going to start as.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're there, Bruce, we would welcome you as well.
Heck
You
yeah.
and Cheryl can go guerrilla style and get us some footage live from the ACC. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Bruce.
All right. With that, I'm gonna go relax for the evening with my wife. But it was an awesome hanging out with you guys tonight. That's kind of the plan going forward. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm guessing if Jamie's available, like 5-ish.
That works.
5-ish tomorrow, to go over the last day in Berlin, and then maybe one of these Thursdays we need to break down like all the people going to the games, what that looks like, things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just having a business meeting on the air because that's what we do around here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you in the chat. We love you all. We will talk to you next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast.